Welcome, Aquarius, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 20th of April for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share the big themes of the week ahead first, then on screen your event chart on Monday. Always provides an influential backdrop. I'll then go through each of the influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture of what you can expect in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. It's a week which begins with all that clustering of energy in the passionate Aries, but for you, very much about your ideas and your message have really reached a high point. But the energy from that can continue to pulsate out over the next month because of the new moon in Aries, which is very close to the healer Chiron. It's encouraging you, even if you feel in the past to have not been heard, to have maximum faith in whatever you want to convey. But also, as we go into the week, the sun switches into the earthy Taurus. If you do really love your garden, growing your own vegetables, getting the plants out if you're in the northern hemisphere, or taking them in if you're in the south, it's a great way to use that energy. But if your focus is more on your internal space, the fact that Venus has been in this area for around about 3.5 weeks suggests you could have made some changes to where you live, perhaps decoratively, but the sun moving into the fourth house can connect you more to your emotional world. Now, as the week goes on, the sun does come into two squares. The first with Pluto, very powerful. The second, the quarter moon, with the moon in Leo, still very powerful, but in a different way. I'll share about those. You may find yourself moving all the furniture around on Friday, Aquarius, as Venus applies to your modern ruler Uranus in an exact conjunction. But then they both move as the week draws to a close into the glittering for you, Gemini. Uranus for 7 years, Venus for the following 28 or so days. I can't wait to share all of that with you. So on the screen now, your event chart. I've done it for noon on this particular week because of the sun moving early on Monday morning into Taurus. But the moon is in the friendly fifth house view, which it can be affectionate. It is in the bubbly Gemini, but that sun position later on Monday is just asking you, after all the intensity of what was discussed or talked about as last week drew to a close with that Saturn-Mars conjunction, the first for 28 years, to try to just let it all percolate down within you. So part of your instinct may be to withdraw a little bit and just try and make sure that your immediate environment is peaceful, secure. If you're pottering around, just thinking about some of the conversations you had, it would be a very good thing to do. Now, as the week goes on, Venus does apply to Uranus, and that's my joke about moving the furniture around. That's on Friday. But do you know, it could be true. Aquarius people generally like a little bit of space. So you could find that you declutter. It may be if you work from home, Venus can of course be about money, that you want to create more of an absolute place where you can really concentrate. So if you're trying to work and it's next to the washing, people are coming in and out, very hard to do that. So you may want to just find that unique space that's just purely for the home office. But the sun moves forwards as this week goes on and comes into a square with Pluto. Now, Pluto, full time since November 2024, has really been seeing you evolve in terms of understanding more about your unique power. I don't mean power over others, I mean your power internally. But maybe someone you are close to does see a situation differently, and it could be revealed in a bit of a power battle between you as the week draws to a close. Maybe it's about those home changes which you see differently. But the moon has moved on, and in the seventh house of your chart, by the time of the quarter moon, that's about relationships. That's a great place for the moon to be, very harmonizing. But the proud Leo can be quite attached to, maintaining its sort of presence, and that's linking back to the sun in a square too. Fourth, seventh house quarter moons can see us caught up in a situation where two people we're close to are not getting on, we're playing the role of the mediator, or we're trying to make changes to our home and family life, but keep our relationships on an even keel. So on one hand, you have your desire to be more in touch with who you are as a unique being. The fourth house is about the need for emotional calm and security. The seventh house can be where you might want to please someone, and all of it can just feel a little bit conflicting. And then Venus and Uranus move into your fifth house. So one of the best things to deal with this week, if you do encounter those tensions towards the end of it, is go out and have some fun as the week draws to a close. And if you do it just completely off the cuff, that's the perfect way to surf the energy. I'm going to summarize those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next, Aquarius. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. You can have buy one, get three. Why? Because people are feeling the pinch, but two, because I'm really passionate about sharing astrology with more people. And you pay for your life roadmap report, which helps you to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far. But you get free your 12 months forecast, transits, and also your draconic chart, which helps us to understand the more karmic, soul-based journey through this existence. Please see below for more. Now, if you've yet to watch your Uranus 84-year into Gemini cycle on the screen, if you've yet to watch your Clash of the Malefics, your traditional ruler Saturn and Mars on the screen, if you'd like to work with me directly, please see the link below to check out my testimonials. And if you've yet to sign up, how could you resist the free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning for your celestial pit stop early each day? You can do so below. So to summarize, I think your ideas, being an air sign, is a big part of your persona. And maybe as last week came to a close, you had a chance to showcase them in the most brilliant and impressive, but also impactful way. People knew that what you said was really what you meant. But the third house can also be where people's ideas don't necessarily mesh. It can be about community, it can be about siblings, neighbors, and so on. So if there have been tensions with Mars in that conjunction with Mercury and Mars, there may have been some cross words, there may have been some aberration. But just know, if you really are invested in what you're saying, that Pluto sextile to these guys, you have to stand for what you are. One of the things with Aquarius people, I don't feel Aquarius people are all the same. Aquarius people can be incredibly unique, but one of the great gifts is the passion and ability to speak their truth to whatever is going on. If that's what's happened to you, good for you. But as far as perhaps romance or being a bit more daring with your resources, as Uranus and Venus move at the end of the week, that I think can be an exciting time. Work, Jupiter retains its role through to the end of June, the planet of fortune, in your sixth house. But I think this third house energy suggests around your profession or around earning money, you need to use your mind. If you're not using it enough at the moment, it's down to you to try to look for the opportunities to make that happen. And Uranus moving into the fifth house is going to give you a lot more confidence to embrace that more daring and at times more radical side of your nature. Have a great week, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again.